Hey guys, I'm Combat Craig and I'm 100% disabled Desert Storm veteran. Today's topic is how to win your VA disability claim. I'm not an accredited agent or affiliated with the Department of Veterans Affairs in any way. I'm not a lawyer or a doctor, so this is not legal or medical advice, but this is useful veteran to veteran advice. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Hopefully, you find something that I have to say here useful. If you are on the fence about what to do with your VA claim, shoot me an email. I got it down here, combatcraig@vaclaimsinsider.com. I'd be more than happy to chat with you about your claim and see if we can help. All right, let's get on to the main event. How to win your VA disability claim. So, do you know how to win? I didn't have that question answered initially. Do you have a winner's mindset, right? I am going to win this VA claim. Got to have that winner's mindset, think positive, all that kind of stuff. But on top of that, I'm going to give you some tips here. And that's where you need to be, winner's mindset. And you need to get to the end. And the end is winning your VA disability claim. Do you see yourself doing whatever it takes to get through this and come out victorious on the other side? Are you ready to roll up your sleeves, get into VA law, get into the things that the VA raters are going to be looking for, going to the doctors, getting treatment, trying medications, doing whatever you have to do? It's a slog, Are you ready to do that? Because you're going to need to roll up your sleeves. And you need to pay close attention to what's going on because this is a strategy. And at the end of this, the goal is to win your VA disability claim. You need to start off by doing your homework on your disabilities. I would start off by asking yourself a few questions. Have you gone to the doctor for your disability? Is this a disability? And I've done this a lot. And, we were taught this in the military. Don't be a pussy. Suck it up. Shut up. You know what I mean? Rub some dirt on it and you're good to go. Have you actually gone to a doctor for your disability? Take it a step further. Have you gone to your doctor and got a diagnosis? Are you doing anything to make your disability better? The VA looks at disabilities like this. If you're not complaining or you're not attempting to seek treatment or seeking treatment or just blowing it off, then they look at it like, well, you don't have a problem. You're not even trying to get better. So, do you go to a VA doctor? If you don't like going to VA doctors, are you going to a private doctor? Are you doing this on any kind of with any kind of regularity on an ongoing basis? Are you logging the medical evidence you're going to need to prove that you have a disability and that you're attempting to get better? Once you have those questions answers, good start. Have a disability. All right, I got to get some treatment for it. I need to get a diagnosis for it, right? You've kind of gone through this part of it. So you're getting into this winner's mindset. Now you need to find out how the VA is going to look at this stuff. So once you have those questions answered, I would start doing research about your disability. You can research your disability that you think you have, but once you get your diagnosis, you're going to have a diagnostic code, and then you're going to know exactly the claim that you're going to be filing and what the VA is going to be looking for. So you need to understand enough about your disability in VA law, and that can be found in 38 CFR Part 4, which is the schedule for rating disabilities. I'm going to put a link to that in the comments below. And this is a document that you can download. It's a PDF and you can search through it. Let's say that you're thinking about filing a GERD claim. GERD, G-E-R-D, gastroesophageal reflux disease. So you download the PDF document, right? And you do a search for GERD. Guess what you're not going to find? Anything about GERD. You know why? Because GERD is actually under code 7346 and it's called hiatal hernia. And the ratings for it are the highest one 60 and then 30 and 10. So this is GERD is a perfect example. We talk about GERD. We call it GERD, but the VA calls it hiatal hernia. There's all sorts of nuances littered throughout VA disability world. So this is a really good example, the best one that I can come up with, why you would want to go into 38 CFR Part 4 of the Schedule for Rating Disabilities and look through it. And I'm going to pull it up. I have it up right here. So GERD 7346. Hernia hiatal, symptoms of pain, vomiting, material weight loss, and hematemesis or melena with moderate anemia, or other symptom combinations productive of severe impairment of health. That's 60%. Now, again, there's a lot of medical and legal jargon in here, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but, what the hell is a hematemesis? Google it. Or melena, Google it. Figure out whatever you have to do to understand what these things are. Okay, that's a 60% rating. All right, let's go on to 30. Persistently recurrent epigastric distress with dysphagia, pyrosis, regurgitation, accompanied by substernal or arm or shoulder pain, productive of considerable impairment of health. Again, more words that I can't say, irrelevant. If I was filing a GERD claim, I'd figure out what all this stuff means. Ask somebody, ask me, combatcraig@vaclaimsinsider.com. I can get the answer to this. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it. And then go down to the 10% rating. With 2 or more of the symptoms for the 30% evaluation of less severity. So you need to have 2 of the things in the 30% category, but the severity is less. You're going to see this a lot. Severity of symptoms is everything when it comes to any kind of VA claim. Super severe in this case of a hernia hiatal or hiatal hernia or GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. It's all the same thing. Severe is 60. Moderate is 30. Mild is 10. Look in the code, look in the law, and understand it. Another place that I would do some research is in the M21-1 adjudication manual, because that's what the VA raters go by for the most part. They do, go into the VA law, but the M21-1 adjudication manual is the policy, and they mainly stick to the policy. So it's important to understand, there's more nuances there, right? I use this, GERD claim. It's not called that. It's called hiatal hernia, actually. Hernia hiatal, right? So is there any weird stuff like that in the M21-1 adjudication manual? Do some searches. Same thing. You could download the PDF, search around in there. How does your diagnostic code fit into the law? What kind of potential, issues are you going to run into with the VA rater? And is there anything you can do to avoid these issues or be aware of them, because you might have to respond to them? Like, okay, this is kind of what happens. I've done some research. I've talked to some people. This is just a problem disability that I'm looking at filing. So understand what your challenges could possibly be. Winning mindset. This is how you file a winning VA claim. Understand what the VA is looking for. What do they call your disability? You may call it something different. Does the rater call it something different than what the law calls out? Is your private doctor calling it something different than the VA does? That's another one that you want to be careful with. If you're going to see your private doctor, the duty to assist will kick in, but it's important to work with a private physician that understands how the VA works, so you can avoid, pitfalls with these little nuances. If you're just kind of going to a doctor that hasn't dealt with the VA and he's a GERD specialist and just calls it GERD or whatever, he's probably not going to call it a hiatal hernia. Maybe he will. I don't know. I'm not a doctor and I don't really know too much about it, but just an example, right? Get a doctor that understands the language the VA speaks and ask him to speak in that language to make this a little easier. If you want to win, these are the things that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get ahead of this, understand your disability, and, line these things up. So the VA is looking for very specific things when they're making a decision about your VA disability claim. If you want to file a winning VA claim, you better provide them what you're looking for. You can take this from, experience from me. I didn't know that they were looking for specific things. So I went ahead and I guess I pretty much just did whatever the VSO wanted to do. Guess what happened 3 times when I didn't give them what they wanted? You got it. Denied, denied, denied. And I didn't even know about the appeals process. So I missed my dates on those as well. The VA is looking for specific things, and they need a diagnosis and a diagnostic code. Using my hiatal hernia example that I've been referencing, the code is 7346. That's the code that they're looking for. That thing needs to be in a medical record somewhere next to your diagnosis. This needs to be a current diagnosis. When you're filing a VA claim, it's all about a current symptoms and a current diagnosis. Now, you may have been dealing with GERD for a long time, and you could go back a little bit, but really current means like now, not longer than a year back, and, pretty much now, the last couple of months. So if you've been dealing with GERD for the last 15 years, you don't need to, tell them, hey, I was doing this when I was stationed in Turkey, and then when I was in Panama, some other stuff happened, and then I got out, and then I did this and that. Like, you don't need to go littering up and messing up the waters and getting them all muddied up with 15 years of GERD stuff. Just give them the current diagnosis stuff, and you don't need to go back farther than a year. They're going to need to see the link between your hiatal hernia and your active duty service. Is it a direct service connection, or is it a secondary service connection? Because the GERD was actually caused by the 800 milligrams of Motrin the VA threw at you for 5 years for your service-connected back disability, and then that actually caused the hiatal hernia, or GERD, or gastroesophageal reflux disease. In this case, you would file a GERD claim secondary to your service-connected back due to the effects of the medication. In this case, the medication would be the intermediate step, kind of like the bridge between your service-connected back and your GERD claim. Understand secondary service connections. Understand direct service connections. Understand pre-existing service connections. Understand presumptive service connections. Get into this and figure out which one you're going to file, which one applies to you. It's probably not a bad idea to understand all of these things, because I guarantee you have a lot of stuff wrong with you. We all do. We're veterans. We got beat up and we didn't complain. So dig in. This is it's good stuff once you start getting into it. I've been doing this for about 1.5 years, and I can't get enough of it. I learn constantly, and it's like, those bastards, that's how they hid that from me. So I don't know. I kind of turn it into a little bit of a game, but that's just me. You might just want to win, and I want you to win. So, whatever you got to do to get there. Winning mindset, right? In addition to a current diagnosis and a diagnostic code, they're looking for a medical link explaining the link between, your back and your GERD. This is known as the nexus. You're going to want the doctor to actually make the nexus link. I would recommend talking about, the severity of symptoms, what's it feel like when your gut's all torn up? What's it do to you? How's it make you feel? When do you think the problem started? You can do stuff in your personal statement. And if you have a buddy, a wife, a friend, a parent, an adult child over the age of 18, they can all talk about their observations, firsthand observations of you, and what your disability makes you like and what a nightmare you are and stuff. But this is firsthand knowledge in these buddy letters. They need to have firsthand knowledge. If it's somebody that thought they saw something, but they didn't really actually see it, I think in legal mumbo jumbo, that's called hearsay and it's useless. So just focus on people that actually know about your problem. You know about your problem, so you can write a personal statement. If your wife knows about your problem, she could talk about it. If your adult child knows about your problem and has observed your weirdness or your problems or, your moodiness, they could talk about it. But that's it. They don't go wandering into medical land and legal jargon. I also wanted to bring up something that I didn't understand for a while initially, and that is if something happened to you while you're on active duty, it all counts. So from the day you showed up to basic training to the day you separated, that's on your DD 214. Start date, end date. If it happened in between those dates, it qualifies for service connection of some sort. You don't need to have been deployed. You don't need to see combat. You don't even need to be at work, at your job, whatever your job was while you were in. If you were playing flag football on a Saturday and you busted your leg, guess what? It happened while you're on active duty. That could be service connected. Focus on what happened, not when it happened. It doesn't matter if it happened while you're on combat or in a deployment, or if you're just jerking around, you're all drunk and you broke your leg. Whatever the deal is, it happened on active duty. So that's something that I want you to understand. So does the VA have a responsibility to help you when you're filing your winning VA claim? To a degree. Let's get into it. The VA has what's called the duty to assist. In my opinion, this is extremely subjective on the part of the VA employees because, they're humans. A lot of them are veterans like me and you. So not everybody puts in the same amount of effort when it comes to, assisting in this duty to assist, right? So if you rely solely on a VA employee to put together, I'm going to use an analogy of a puzzle. So if you're going to rely on a VA employee to put your puzzle pieces together, you're just asking for a denial because you don't know what kind of person you're getting. What happens if the VA employee is in a bad mood and he decides puzzles are lame? I'm not even going to try to put this thing together. Or, I'm just going to toss this thing in the trash. It's too much work, And then they're going to put down on a piece of paper, tried, and that literally checks the box. Duty to assist. I tried. So building on this puzzle analogy, do not give them a gigantic 150,000 piece puzzle to put together and file 25 disabilities at one time. File a few, no more than 3. Give them a drawing of what the puzzle looks like. Even better, put the damn thing together, super glue it together so they can't lose pieces of the puzzle, and ship them the flat puzzle so they got it. Make it easy for the rater to say yes, and that is how you file a winning VA claim. Make it very easy for them to see what they need to see. Don't have them hunting around for stuff. Just lay it out, fully developed claim, put it in front of them. That's how you file a winning VA claim. The last part, and I'm going to wrap up with, if your VA claim gets denied, you lost the first round. That's it. Read your decision letter and find out what piece of the puzzle you are missing. Come back and provide that piece to them. They might not have just looked at something, and you might be able to win this in a higher level review. Your medical evidence that you submitted might have been weak. You might need to go to another private doctor and get an additional independent medical opinion to strengthen your position. This is about what you can prove and VA law. Do not quit and never give up. You got to roll your sleeves up, be prepared to fight, and you're going to have to fight this for as long as it takes for you to prevail with a winning VA claim. I can tell you this, if your claim is grounded in solid medical evidence It may take you a while, and you may have to go to the BVA or the higher court, but if it is by the book, by the law, is there a diagnosis? Yes. Why didn't you even look at that? Oh, I don't know. I lost that piece of the puzzle. Okay, moving on. Severity of symptoms. What happened here? It's right there. You know what I mean? Where's the nexus? Oh, well, it's right here. This is what they do at the BVA. They look through and they look for inconsistencies in the law. And it's like, you guys just completely missed this. I can see this from a mile away. They will remand this back to your local VA regional office and say, fix it, redo it. You might need another C&P exam or something like that. But be prepared for all this stuff. Solid medical evidence. That's how you file a winning VA claim. Roll up your sleeves. Be ready to fight. Never quit. Never give up. That's how you file a winning VA claim. Again, if you need some help with your claim, you can send me an email at combatcraig@vaclaimsinsider.com. I'd be more than happy to see if I can help you out, talk through some of this stuff with you, see what you got. With that, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Combat Craig, out.